Alright, folks. Alright, it's not the best quality because I'm streaming, so it's going to be 720p. I was thinking about shadow playing this, but then you wouldn't have my webcam, and I figured, I'll leave the same setup as I did last time. Let's search some Team Deathmatch, and let's have a little bit of a talk about Team Deathmatch and the game in general, whilst we wait, because the queue times could be long, who knows. Yeah, I've unlocked the Cosmonaut, I've finished the Tour of Duty, I found it to be pretty comfortable. Not really a big fan of, like, earning coins. I like exclusives, like, all this stuff. Previously, if there was an exclusive there, I might go for it. Now, I don't need the coins, so I don't really have anything to play for. So, I'll play as the Cosmonaut, and on the Locust side, we'll go for Shrek. Or, if you're interested, we could do a Farmer Dom. We'll see. I think a lot of people have probably seen Farmer Dom, though, let's be honest. So we'll go for the beefy soldier or the beefster over here. So I've seen a lot of people fading away from the game, getting bored of it. And, normally I'd be like, oh, come on, like, it's not that bad. But honestly, it's been pretty poor recently. Just to touch on, and I won't touch on it too much, but people have been saying that it's really, really bad that the Gears esports scene has lost like 75% of its funding. It went from I think a 2.5 million league or something to 500,000 total prize pool for the league. And I understand like that's their livelihood and stuff. But as a selfish Gears player and as a sort of realist, it's baffling at this point that there is a Gears esports scene. I know there's every game has an esports scene, and there's definitely people that are good at Gears and want to compete and watch it. So it's not truly baffling that there's an esports scene, but it was baffling to me that there was so much money on the line. That's the first thing I noticed when I came back to Gears, because obviously I came from the Gears 1 and 2 era where you'd get like a £10 voucher for turning up to a LAN. Things have changed since then, but with Gears, I still feel like with Gears, like in regular esports, I'll just blitz through this topic, there's a lot more nuance to it, but with a regular esports, you sort of fight your way up through like the divisions, and then you sort of have like a scouting system, and then you sort of have like LCS or EU LCS or like a pre-LCS type of thing, which is a League of Legends league, and it's like before you get into the big league, you're in the mini league, and then you get promoted, and it's kind of like the very best of the best become the esports players. And that's how you kind of watch them because they're the best of the best. With Gears of War, I'm not saying these players aren't good, but when I watch them, I don't think to myself these are the best of the best. What it feels like to me as an outsider is these are the only people that can be bothered to compete. Or these are the people that are able to compete because it costs money. You don't have sponsors, you have to fly yourself out to Mexico. Then maybe they can take time off work. Maybe they're not at work, maybe they have better opportunities, or they live locally. And that's what it feels like. It feels like more, we can all play the game at a relatively good level. Let's form a team and we all are available to fly and play. And it feels a bit more like that, like let's get involved in the scene, rather than I'm a phenomenal player that's been scouted and brought into an organisation. And so for me, I don't really get excited about watching Gears esports. And another thing is, every esports works really hard on making it a viewership, making it clean to the viewer. I know Overwatch had this issue at the beginning where it was very difficult to see the spells of all the characters. They're all different colours. So the first thing they did was they had a total rebrand, and they made each team have their own sort of jerseys. And if they were, say, a white jersey, all their spells, characters and abilities would be white. And if they were facing someone blue, again, they'd all be blue spells, and it made it so much cleaner. And it makes it the most important thing as a sport. What these Gears esports people seem to forget is the most important thing for the Gears esports scene is people watch it. It doesn't matter if it's not the most skilled game, and it doesn't matter if there's a bit of bullshit or you're not really enjoying the game mode. If there are more viewers and it's a better viewing experience, you in turn as a pro are going to get more money, more sponsorships, more opportunities. And it feels like the Gears scene are hell-bent on making it so unbelievably competitive and so unbelievably, quote, perfect, that they're changing all of the game modes. Nobody plays escalation, but the pros played escalation with different swaps, with different tuning, with different things. Then sort of King of the Hill became the main ranked game. They're still playing something different. They're trying to do Gridiron. They're trying to do this or that. And all they need to accept is you will get more viewership if you play what the people want. You might lose a few rounds that you shouldn't do. It might not be the most fun experience for you as a pro. Let's say Team Deathmatch. Let's say King of the Hill. It might not be as technically good as other game modes, but the most important thing is viewers like relate to it, and I just don't think they do. I don't think anybody wants to watch players play Escalation 5v5 with like a bright red omen. They just don't want to do that. There's no like the camera, the way people like spectate with the cameras. You can be watching somebody have a fight over like a hill. You're like, okay, how does this fight go? Then it suddenly cuts and you miss the action, and then you miss this bit, and the spectating isn't even that great in it. There's no like automated spectator like say in League or Dota. Well, not Dota, but you know what I mean. And it's, yeah, it feels like the pros are desperately trying to make the most skilled version of Gears rather than trying to make the most fun, watchable version. Like, Fortnite didn't start off as let's be a professional game, let's make it as skilled as humanly possible. It started because it was really popular, and then people were like, this is really popular, people love watching it, let's get some high level players playing the game and let's see how that turns out. You know, that's kind of how that went, whereas Gears is like the opposite. Rather than making the game really fun and having people want to watch it, or you know, it just feels like they're more bothered about, does the Lancer do 0.2 times damage at 40 meters rather than 0.3 at 38 meters. And it's like, at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter if no one's watching it, and it doesn't like really matter if it's, well, it's a boring viewing experience, isn't it? For me, like, I don't, the thing about the Gears like whole, I guess, what would you call it? What would you call it? The thing about the whole Gears sort of like, I don't know how to word this one. I had a thought there, and it's gone. It might come back to me, but it's just a very strange scene. It's a very strange scene. It's like nobody's welcoming to each other. If you criticize the game, you're seen as like oh well, if you don't like the game, why are you playing it? You know. And there's a lot of people that have been turned away from that. I know personally a lot of people that have thought to themselves, I do like the game, I'd like to give some feedback or some thoughts, and then they get barraged with, oh well, if you don't like the game, don't play it. And guess what? They end up not playing it, and then your game slowly dies. You know, I'm sat in queue for 8 minutes. 8 minutes isn't a long amount of time. I can just about handle an 8-minute queue. But the thing is, the longer and longer the queue time goes on, the more and more you begin to think, well, do I actually want to play this game? Sometimes, like yesterday, I was in the mood to play some Gears. It was late at night, I was pretty chilled out, I'd had a couple drinks, and I was like, you know what? I actually really fancy playing some ranked King of the Hill. I don't know why. Fancy playing some ranked King of the Hill and some ranked free-for-all. And I just sat there and I was like, well, I can't really do that. Because there's just, there isn't the player base for me. You know, there seems to be this notion as well. I'm not saying that allowing PC players into the game would help, but there seems to be this notion that PC players would like ruin the game. And it's like, there are so few of us. If you put us into the player pool, you probably bump into a PC guy once every like 30 games, because there's just no players. And for me, like, you'll understand why I've like tried to branch out a little bit more, and I'm hoping that I've shown you enough. Like, if I play a new game or I make a video on a new game, I will put the same level of thought and sort of fairness and critique into that game. So if you enjoy my style, forget the Gears game. If you enjoy me as a person and a content creator, you're probably going to enjoy my other stuff, because I'm exactly the same on all the other games I play. So for me, I'm sat here like, I've been searching now for 10 minutes, and this is on I can tell you right now, it's a Friday at 6 PM. So it's basically prime time. A Friday at 6 PM in EU. Everybody's at home, pretty much. maybe in half an hour due to traffic. Some more people might be getting home from work if anyone's playing. This is literally peak time. And on top, there's just been a new ranking system released, and a new balance released, and a new set of characters, and a new game mode, a fan favourite back into ranked, and I still can't find a game in less than like 20 minutes. And the more you wait and the more you sit about, you just think to yourself, is it worth it? Like, I really like Gears of War, but there comes a point where, like, as someone that wants to make content, I need to do other things. You know, it's not really viable for me to sit here and do this, and it is baffling that when people come out and critique the game, such as myself, you get sectioned off from the community. Like, because I've been critical of the game, there are certain people that just won't interact with me. There are certain people that have formulated an opinion on me without even watching. I saw somebody yesterday, oh, I'm not going to invite him onto the podcast, he only wants it to be Gears 1. Now, granted, I probably wouldn't come on a podcast anyway. I'm not great at doing those type of things. But it's like if you critique the game, you're seen as like this, oh, this guy doesn't like the game. You don't like the game, why is he playing it? I'm not going to watch him, he's not hyped up. And it's like, actually, I really do enjoy the game. I have a lot of ideas of how it could be better. A lot of simple changes. You know, I don't think new players are welcomed in at all. And I think that should be the main focus. And people will go, what? They tried to make this game focused for new players and it was a complete flop. Well, I sort of disagree. I don't think they tried to make this game for new players at all. I think what they did was they made the balance of the game suitable for new players, but that doesn't in turn help new players actually get into the game. You need proper tutorials, guides, systems in place, training levels, level caps, level requirements, practice modes, all these types of stuff to actually get somebody involved in a game. Put it this way. If they change tomorrow Counter-Strike to be slightly easier guns to use and less recoil, the Counter-Strike people would be pissed off, oh, they're making the game for new players, but it doesn't mean a load of new players would come in. It doesn't. The Battle Royale players aren't going to flock to Counter-Strike because of that. What it means is the lower level people that are still playing Counter-Strike would have a better chance, and then it just irritates the community, which is what happened in this game. This didn't really bring any new people. It just meant the slightly worse people that played Gears now can kill you, which irritated everybody. And it didn't even make the game thriving, you know? So, you know, this is how it goes trying to create content on the game. You try to speak about the game to help. Barely anybody shares your stuff and you have this niche audience. You know, I absolutely love the fact you guys tune in. It's absolutely fantastic, but we're shouting into a void. I have like 1,000 people at most that watch me on a video, on like a hyped up video. And you will have like a Mexican YouTuber, a bigger YouTuber, hundreds of thousands of subs, 200, 300,000 subs. They'll just post about skins. They'll be like, oh, I got this insane kill in Team Deathmatch. And, you know, they've got their piece of the pie. They're never going to let go of it. They're, you know, a respect to them. You know, they're grinding it out. I understand why. But you need those type of people to help the scene, you know? You need those type of people to grow the scene. I can sit, play the game, have some fun and give my opinions, but it's now becoming, I'll tell you, it's now becoming for me, I can't even play the game. And as a result, if I can't play the game, it becomes harder to give feedback, harder to discuss with people what's going on because you can't even find games. And ultimately, you then end up just being a channel that sits here talking about a game that you don't even play, so then people wonder what the hell are you doing, and I agree. So I'm happy, like I always say, I'm happy to give help, chats, instruction, whatever you want to call it, whilst I'm playing the game and having fun. Normally what I'll do is I'll hop on, play for an hour or two, think about how the experience was, maybe make a video. Like now, I can't even play the game. There's not a period of time where I think I can pick up Gears 5 and find a match that I want to play. You know, if I want to play a custom lobby of free-for-all Nashers, it ain't gonna fill up. It's taken roughly 15 because I'd started this recording a bit early, it's taken roughly about 20-25 minutes to find a game, and eventually I'm in one. But it's like, do I want to sit here and have 5 people vote checkout on Team Deathmatch? You know what it feels like? It feels like I'm playing Gears 4 or Gears 3. That's what it feels like. However, I'm pleased we're in a game and I actually get to give you some gameplay before the video is over, because I was just about to wrap it up. But we're into a game here, so that's a positive. And now I can actually talk about Team Deathmatch as I play it, because Team Deathmatch, I'm sorry boys, it's tragic. I don't know if you were waiting for that. It's tragic. So the reason it's tragic is we've had this game mode since Gears 3. I don't think it ever should have been brought into the franchise. It it changed everybody's mentality and it ruined the game. I'm not going to explain too further on that, but trust me, it did, right? Because the Gears of War had this niche. It was aggressive, up close, third person action. That's what they should have ran with. You know, that's the deal they should have ran with. Not let's try do Team Deathmatch rifle from a distance and camp for your lives, right? So with Team Deathmatch, it's just an entirely different vibe. And the maps, everything becomes stale. Now, I do like the fact the stacks have been removed. But what I will say, right, is this game, okay, has become... I haven't played this game in a while, by the way. I've been playing Fall Guys, so I might not be the best here. But it's quite hard to play and talk. I haven't really done this actually in a video for a while. Let's chill back here. So yeah, I enjoyed the fact that stacks have been removed, right? But that's it. That's the only element of this game mode I like. The problem still is it's campy. You control a map, you can't move, and it gets really irritating. Like, I mean, they've lost the initial push here, so how do they recover, really? If we just keep them in their spawn... We've got spawn protection there. That was another thing that is quite annoying. Yeah, what I was going to say was Gears 3's... Team Deathmatch has been in the game since Gears 3. And there's always been an issue of some idiot wasting 50 lives, right? That's always been the problem. There's always one guy that wastes 50 lives and makes it unwinnable. And nobody has fun. And yet... We've had multiple studios, not just TC, so don't just blame TC. We've had multiple studios actually try to fix this, and the only fix they've come up with is let's remove one player from each team and make it 4v4. So all the problems are still there. The camping, in a way it's worse. All the problems are still there. The camping, the map design, the rifles, the controlling of spawns, etc. But all that's happened now is you can't play with your friends. That's it. They haven't solved anything. So for me playing this game, you're like, yeah, they recognised that stacks were a problem, but the way they solved it was they've come out and said that King of the Hill was the most popular game mode, right? And the way they solved the stack problem was like, oh, stacks are a problem, let's remove them from Team DM, which is the casual game mode that people play with friends. And then they haven't taken them out of their most popular game mode, King of the Hill. So now it's just the exact same camping, slow gameplay where you can't push, you can't make moves, and where somebody can waste all of your lives. Except it's just even slower because there's less people on the map. There's less action. So it's just baffling, really. And it's not just TC's fault. It's every studio that's had an opportunity to deal with Team Deathmatch have done it wrong. The way you deal with Team Deathmatch is you just remove it and then really bring Gears back to its core and show, yo, we're about single life gameplay. We're about up close personal gameplay. Let's work on bringing that back rather than trying to fix a fundamentally broken game mode. Because you could limit players' lives, like I've said previously, that would help. But if we all had 4 lives each, it's just going to become... It's still going to become campy, right? But it's a start. You know, you could do that, but to the way they fix TDM, is so funny because they took it out of the rank system, right? They were like, we're taking it out of the ranking system to fix it. And the way they fixed it, of all the feedback ever, of years and years of Team Deathmatch gameplay since Gears of War 3, the way they fixed the game was, let's remove one player from each team. That's it. Really? And you've still got things like spawn protection. You know, spawn protection came in, what, Gears 3? And yet... Or is it even Gears 2? It's been that long, you know, I can't even remember. I think it might have been Gears 3. I should know that. But you can't even see when someone has got spawn protection. You know, you've got stuff like this, man. And I'm playing in a bronze game, right? I'm at the bottom of the team. I haven't had an opportunity to have a shotgun fight yet. I haven't flanked anybody because there's no opportunity to flank in Team Deathmatch. And I'm being killed by a Terminator carrying a robotic ricochet gun, and that's why Gears 5 is terrible, you know. That's why I can't even have shotgun fights, man. I've died twice in this game and I'm out now. I'm now in a 1v12 situation, or whatever it is, a 1v11 situation, and I've only died twice, and I haven't had the opportunity to make any plays. Now they're going to flank me. I'm going to get flanked from this direction, and then I'm going to have to run into him. And it's just a giant mess, man. Here comes the flank. And it's not a fun experience. I can't showcase any of my skill that I've learned over the years of playing Gears. You know? Yeah, I shouldn't have reloaded. I should have just back-aided, but I've played this game for years and years and years and years, right? And...
PC player, very interesting game.
Like, these people think that the reason we're losing is PC players. It has nothing to do with PC players, bro. It's got a fundamental issue that the game mode's campy and you suck. And this is the problem, man. Team Deathmatch brings out the really, really bad players that think they deserve better. Why is my bullet not connecting there? Why am I getting no pellets on this guy? What? You see that? How many times did I just shoot that guy point blank? Jeez, man. I was actually waiting for that Terminator to pop up and I was shooting straight through him. But yeah, like, I like the idea there's no stacks and you're not going to get four-manned, but the problem still remains. All the problems that is in Team Deathmatch still remain, and that's where, like, you got to question TC. You do. Because... is this the way they think they fix Team Deathmatch? They take it out of the rotation and put it back in? All they did was basically piss people off that took Team Deathmatch out. And think about this, right? Not everybody keeps up to date with the game. If I played Call of Duty and I only liked playing that game mode where you pick up the tickets. I don't know what it's called. Is it Capture the Summit? You pick up the tickets after you've killed them. I don't play COD, whatever. Let's say I like that game mode. Or let's say, for instance, because I can talk about Search and Destroy. If I went on to Call of Duty and I was playing Search and Destroy, and then the next season Search and Destroy was removed, I'd stop playing Call of Duty. I wouldn't read up news and wait for it to be brought back into the franchise. So a lot of people would have liked playing Team Deathmatch, seen it was removed, and then just quit the game for good. And oh my god. Like, it is... I am having no opportunity. I am at the bottom of the entire leaderboard. I've been in competitive on Gears 1, good at Gears 2, very good at Gears 3. I was Masters at Gears 4 on PC. I've been like 5 times Masters on Gears 5. I'm pretty decent at Gears 5, and I cannot show any... I can't show any sort of skill in this game other than camp and try and headshot someone. That's it. That's all I can do. That's the only way I can show my skill. Get rolled. You know? But you get very few opportunities to actually do anything remotely cool in this game. Oh my god. I don't know why I dropped down the ledge, and I don't know why my sniper bullet didn't come out. But, yeah, it's... It's slow. It's very, very slow. It's tedious, monotonous, very few shotgun fights. I'm not even getting a chance to really test out the new balance. I'm just playing an old map, you know. It just feels old, dated, and that's another thing about Gears, right? People play... I've realised, right? I realised something yesterday. I would have killed him there if I could have got the extra bullet off, but I was being lanced. People play games for two reasons, right? Well, for me anyway. It's fun, and there's a new experience that you've not experienced before. Like, wow, I want to play DayZ. That's a really fun game. Right? That type of thing. Or, oh, I've never played a Counter-Strike game. I want to try that. Or, I've never played StarCraft. That looks interesting. Or, the game's really skilled, and you want to get better and better and better. Gears of War has the issue that it's the same old tired formula that it's been since its release in 2006. It hasn't updated. And you can't even play it and get good at it for the most part, because the balance in the game and the modes just don't let you. So it's just problems. Like, the game's just... You know, that was like cheap as fuck, but you gotta do it, man. You gotta bring out the retro if you're playing on checkout, unfortunately. That's how these people roll, man. That's how the game wants me to play. I'm getting Gears of War 3 vibes, where you would play this with a retro lancer. Think about that, man. It's literally like identical to playing Gears 3. You may as well just play Gears 3 or Gears 2 or Gears 1, and that's the thing. Like, it feels like there's just been like no innovation at all. Got people talking shit in chat, calling each other sponges. I'm playing on checkout with a retro, and somebody said it the other day, and it's so true, man. It's like Gears of War players don't experience any other games. They have no variety in the games that they play, and they're stuck in this bubble, and they can't get out of it. The game can't move on because the last few remaining players... There's enough players in the game for it to be a success, so the developers aim for those people. But the game's never ever going to grow and become like a global popular game. You know? It's never going to become a global popular game because it hasn't innovated. It's still old. It's dated. So the people that moan and play it and are left in a bubble... Oh, I'm not going to say they're the problem, but they kind of are. Oh, I choked on that back A. It's kind of like they're not the problem, but you can understand what I'm getting at. It's like there's very few people left playing the game, so the devs they're like, well, we've got enough money, we're making enough money, let's keep aiming towards them. The game's never really going to grow if it doesn't do something fundamentally different. And they're not going to do anything fundamentally different. You know, I'm having to push these idiotic situations because in the back of my mind, I'm like, this guy's going to waste all of my lives. I don't want him to waste my lives. I may as well gamble on a 50-50. Yeah, it feels very tired and dated when I come on this game. What? Who's just killed me? I didn't even see them. You know, I've played the game for how many years, and I'm still getting killed by people that I just don't even... I was stood here, right? I was stood here. I didn't even see a mirror. So this game... Yeah, it's just like... I don't know. 2 duos versus me as a solo guy. My duos suck, and it's just like... Like, I don't know, man. You can see, like, I've had opportunities to occasionally show my skill. I've got a back-to-back snipe. I've got a triple. You know, this guy's just spawned behind me, man. He's literally just spawned behind me with invincibility. And he's shooting me with complete invincibility. And it's like, come on, man. How old's this game? You haven't figured this shit out yet? So as you can tell, Team Deathmatch. He spawned behind me again. As you can tell, Team Deathmatch is still the same tired old dated formula. He's rap-shotted me, and I couldn't back-A him, because if I slid out to the left to back-A, I'd have got lanced down. The rap shot's terrible, man. This game, honestly, man, you just do this, man, and run off in a straight line. Like, you can be here, like, it's just ridiculous. You can go into the slide, like, I can't even do it right now because I'm talking, but you can be sat, like, here, shoot around a wall whilst running in a straight direction, body the guy there, as you could see my bullets. And it's like, the whole I just don't know what the game is anymore, man. It's like a slow, campy, terrible game with terrible spawns, and yet at the same time the game's really fast, unreactable. I just don't know, man. I'm getting like, I've got this thing here. This M-bar can be relentlessly charged up. So even though I'm poking out and making him charge, it's not affecting him in any way. It's like you used to be able to force somebody to charge a torque bow, and once you started making them charge it, you're like, well, that's one bullet I've made him waste because he has to shoot it. You don't even have to shoot that thing. No, this is the game. Two guys on top of a checkout. This guy with an M-bar that he has infinite bullets because he's only going to fire when he's sure. This guy is in a deep pocket. You can see him over here. He's in a deep pocket over there. And it's just like, how is this remotely fun? This is not a 2020, 2021 gaming experience. It's dated, tired, and it's a flop, man. It's a complete flop. I despise Team Deathmatch. Putting it out there, man. Oh, it's just pointless, man. Oh, here we go. And then let's do some execution at the end. Let's drag it out. Let's get everybody tilted. Let's come in. Let's do some BM emotes. And it's like 11:13. Let's spam easy. You know, you can. There's a reason this game is dead, mate. Those group of players that are triple shotgun, double sniped. I'm getting killed by a Spanish Lancer in Team Deathmatch player on checkout. You know what I mean? It's not impressive at all. It's awful gameplay. Most kills, least deaths on my team. And that's what it is, man. Is that an experience for me? Do I want to play another? Ask yourself that, right? That's what you've always got to ask yourself. If you're brand new to the franchise and that was your experience, think about it. 30 minutes, one game, super slow, campy, not very intuitive, you know, bullets going through people and all this stuff. You think to yourself like, well, I may as well play Call of Duty. At least Call of Duty's got players, you know? So it's a disgrace, mate. It's a disgrace.